I first saw that, it was one of those nights in the middle of the summer where I'm scrolling through Twitter, just kind of mind-numbing, and come across this, and that toughness, that effort, the attitude, the motive. And I really like the motive because what's their why? Why they decide to come out for the sport? And in that servant leadership, and those of you who have been around Mr. Swinford and myself, that's a huge piece. You know, if you're not pouring yourself into someone else, we're going to challenge you to do that, because ultimately your sons and daughters are going to be the next city council people, a mayor, you know, they're going to be the leaders in our community, so we want them to have those skills. And so I felt like this was a real simple way to introduce those skills that we're looking for. So upgrades, not only did they get a new sound system in here, we have a brand new sound system in the football stadium and track area. So it was a nice Friday night to actually be able to hear the music and hear the announcement and not have it bounce off of one another. We have a new sound system in the main gym and Gym 2. So now in Gym 2, for those lower level basketball games and volleyball games, we'll actually be able to do some announcing so that, you know, they won't feel like they're just isolated and forgot about. We have new stadium lights on the football field. All 5 high schools did get those lights. The next big thing with lights is going to be me trying to get lights back at soccer, and we'll go from there. Every team, as of this year, has new varsity uniforms. So then starting next fall, I start my 4-year rotation. So if you've ever wondered how often, it's about every 4 years. That's how I help each team. They get a certain amount. If they want to spend more than that, they got to fundraise. Or in between that 4-year process, well, we want to get a specialty color. You're going to fundraise for that. New softball field, new press box for baseball and softball. Those of you who have been over to the annex, it looks beautiful. The new softball field is looking much better than it was. And in the new press box, when you go up in it, you can look right down home plate and center field of both fields. Sound system there. Then the next upgrade over there will be, along with lights on soccer, is upgrade that sound system. But everything we've done, the district has either helped with, or Mr. Swinford, because we are a STEAM school and he gets money. We'll have nights where dance is in one of the gyms, or they're going to be on the football field practicing. Marching band's going to do more practice. You probably noticed the yellow lines in the parking lot on the east side. That's marching band's practice area now. No one is going across the street to the empty lots. We've shut that down. So hopefully someone with deep pockets wants to buy it, and then we'll put turf out here. Starting this week, Parkview Sports has provided us a performance trainer. So if you went to Traction, PSM, OPS, and you work with their trainers, all 5 high schools in the district, we have our own now. That person will work with Coach Northfleet in strength and conditioning classes, but then we will be offering before and after school performance training. We're talking speech training, strength training, flexibility, agility, anything that some of you have paid for, it's here and it's free. And so that person's going to work with every one of our programs to develop off-season, in-season training so that we develop our athletes. A lot of injury prevention. Like right now, you know, a lot of students, especially those that run a lot, soccer, football, cross country, shins hurting, ankles hurting, we'll have more injury prevention. Our head coaches do a good job of being informed, but this is this person's profession. So that we now have a guru in the building. We're one of the 5 high schools in the district. Locally, we're the only ones going to have them in the building all day. We will be hiring new head coaches in wrestling, baseball, and softball. Those jobs are posted, getting ready to start interviews next week. And as I look at who's applied, people want to be a part of Southside. And so we've got great applicants. And, that's an upgrade because we have people now, we want to be a part of the energy that's happening. Academic expectations. Attend every class every day. With that being said, if they feel sick, stay home. But if they're feeling good, they should be here, and they should be in every class, every single period. No phones in class. That's a new policy this year. That's per Dr. Daniel, superintendent. So the teachers will have some kind of signal in their class where it's okay to have it out. But when they change that signal to no phone, just put it away. And we talked to some of the student athletes one-on-one about tuning out for 5 seconds or 30 seconds to be on your phone while the teacher's teaching. You're teaching your brain that it's okay to tune off to what your surroundings are. Football, that's dangerous. Any sport, that's dangerous, all right? You can't just blank out and not pay attention to your surroundings, all right? It puts you in a bad spot. And so, that's something that if your child gets a phone call home about they're on their phone, remind them. You're trying to train your brain to do what you want it to do, not just get lost with your thumbs. We're asking every student to have a C+ in every class, or better. And a C+ now is 77 to 79%, and you'll see the new district grading policy in a little bit. And then the goal is every one of our student athletes at the end of every semester to have a GPA of 2.5 or higher. Now, that being said, an NCAA GPA is scored differently, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. We always want to display sportsmanship. Yes, that's an academic expectation. If the teacher addresses you in a way you do not like, you still need to display sportsmanship, just like you would a referee, an official, a starter at a cross country or track meet, still be a good sport. And then we're going to ask them to carry themselves with AAIT. That means have the right attitude going into class, have the right approach to class. You're going into class with an intention, I'm going to try and learn this today. And if they don't understand the material, we have ways of talking to them about, here's how you prep for class, or here's a question. You should go in every day with a question to ask the teacher. That tells the teacher, okay, they're engaged and they're learning. And even if they're not all that engaged, just have that question. Intensity. Approach it with the right amount of intensity. And the best thing that we have to display that is waves crashing on a beach. Those waves never stop. And that's what we want. We want our students to continue to be intense in attack. And toughness, all right? You have to be tough. And when we talk to students, or talk to your kids, it's not the toughness of someone punches you in the face and you punch them back. It's, they might have hit you and you're strong enough to walk away and stay within your own self-control so that you can continue to do the things you want to do. That you be tough enough to surround yourself with the right people. That you're not in the car with someone and it gets pulled over and they've got something on them that they shouldn't have, and you end up caught up in that wave of trouble. And that goes a lot to toughness. So GPA in Fort Wayne Community High Schools. You've probably seen this before. It's in their handbooks that they'll get. If they haven't got a handbook yet, or you haven't seen it at home, ask them to bring it home. This is in there. So when we say a 2.5 is just above a C+, and it's the bottom part of a B-. So if you think about that, we're asking them to really push to a B-, all right? So our new grading scale, you can see it there. When you're looking at their grades online, when you're checking their grades through PowerSchool or whatever it is the parents use now, if you see an NS, that means they haven't turned it in, all right? That's new this year, so be aware of that. And if you're seeing a lot of NSs, rest assured I've already talked to them, all right? But still call me or email me, hey, I'm aware, I'm looking at grades. Let's get on the same page. More than likely, I'm going to call you first. There are still A+, A-, C+, C-, all right? They're just embedded within those new groupings. So a 77 puts you in the C range, but a 77 to 79 is the C+. With the grades, every coach will get, so fall coaches starting next week, they'll get a weekly report from me. I color code it. Everybody has an A, or for every A gets color coded as a green, C's are yellow, D's and F's are red. So as soon as I send it to a head coach, they open up the Excel document, they look at their roster. Hopefully they notice the greens, celebrate the greens, but then the yellows and the reds having those one-on-one conversations. So attendance every day. Tardies, we started this week.